This is Kim Miller. I am the Executive Director and founder of FemArt Gallery. I am happy to present to you today one of our great artists who is going to be present in our upcoming virtual show, and it's called Where Wild Women Go. And today we have Edmari Hernandez Silen, and she is going to introduce herself to you and let you know some things about her that you haven't known and that should be very interesting for you to get to know. First, I would like to welcome Edmari to this interview and also ask her our first question, and that is the big one of how do you get inspired, Edmari?
Thank you for introducing me, Ms. Kim. Again, my name is Edmari. When I think of my work and things that inspire me, honestly, a lot of my work is inspired by my personal experiences in life. And those personal experiences actually come from nature. And so, in a way, I get inspiration from not what I just experienced, but it has to be out in nature. A lot of it has to do with like growing up in different places. I grew up military, and we moved around a lot, but a lot of the places that we would go to, I'd like to go out and explore. But in the end of the day, whenever we really had a home, we would consider our home island of Puerto Rico as our home. And that was the best source of inspiration for me, in the sense that I had so many great experiences outdoors there. And a lot of that comes from the ocean. After about when I was towards the middle school time, we had moved to Florida, and since it was such a close by area and it was very similar to how it was when I was on the island, I found inspirations in the water as well there too.
Excellent. That's really great. Your art is so beautiful, by the way. You've been with FemArt for a couple of years now, and we just love having you in our shows, and you've sold really well in a couple of our shows, so I'm really happy to have you. Another question I have, you talk about the inspiration by the ocean and everything, and you've been inspired here in Jacksonville, Florida. Do you believe that your art contributes to the cultural identity of Jacksonville, Florida, and how do you think your visual voice impacts Jacksonville through the arts?
Okay. So, in a way, as most of you may know, in Jacksonville, we have coastal areas that a lot of us get drawn to, like in Jax Beach, Ponte Vedra, Mayport, Hannah Park, all those areas. And it's very important to still take care of those areas. So I find my work to be cultural impacting because it not only just appeals to those that have a love or have a relationship or even live on the coastline, but it's also a reflection about what's happening not far from our coastline. Um, a lot of my work is actually done research within Puerto Rico and in the Florida Keys, where we have coral reefs. And so I feel like even though that could be 6 to 8 hours drive down south, that's still part of our Florida culture. And I try to bring awareness to that because I feel like that's really important to us. And it'll reach up to Jacksonville in a ways because not only are we a coastal town, but it also will affect us in our tourism industry and even how we view and respect our own nature, since we're all in the same water in a way.
Beautiful, beautifully said. Thank you so much. For my final question, it's a little bit on the personal side, and that is when you are getting ready to do art, what is your preference for your drink for creativity? Would you prefer wine or would you prefer tea?
Ah, okay. When I'm making art, I actually prefer to drink some tea.
Excellent, excellent. Well, here's to you, Edmari. I can't wait to see your work in our upcoming virtual show, Where the Wild Women Go.
I'm excited.
Cheers.
Cheers.
Thank you.